So if there's any questions you can ask, or something you don't understand, don't be afraid. Don't spread rumors. You ask your question and I can answer. Yes, take a mic so everybody can hear.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for this nice.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Prabhuji, I have one doubt again is coming in my mind. Like morning class, you say Prabhupada start this Ritvik.
Yes. He started in 1972. There's a letter. See, Prabhupada was getting at that time 30 to 40 requests a week for Harinam initiation. But Prabhupada was traveling. So how could he do all these initiations if he's traveling? He'd have to ship the beads, which was by airmail, which was very expensive. It would cost hundreds of dollars. And so, therefore, he thought that if I empower, that's how I got the word empower, because he used the word empowered. If I empower 2 devotees to chant on the beads, it will be as good as if I chanted on the beads. He said that in the letter to Kirtananda and to Ray Bhattinanda in Europe. And then he expanded it. By 1976, almost every temple president was a Ritvik, because they were all doing the fire sacrifices and doing the second initiation by holding the tape, playing the tape, and the person had to listen through the right ear of the Gayatri mantra. And Prabhupada said it was good as if I was there, through the transcendental voice. See, we're thinking material. We think the voice is material. But what does Prabhupada say about that? Well, he says something very unique about the voice, not about the subject matter. Read. Although when a pure devotee speaks, the articulation of his voice may resemble the sound of the material sky, the voice is spiritually very powerful because it touches the particles of saffron dust on the lotus feet of the Lord. This is not poetry. This is fact. This is not metaphorical. Don't misinterpret. Don't become a Mayavadi and misinterpret. This is the fact that the voice of the pure devotee is nothing more than the saffron lotus dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. And as soon as a sleeping living entity hears the powerful voice emanating from the mouth of a pure devotee, he immediately remembers his eternal relationship with the Lord, although up to that moment he had forgotten everything. Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto. So by empowerment, Prabhupada had so many Ritviks all over the world. They were doing the fire sacrifices, doing the first and second initiation. So Ritvik is not a bad word. Some unscrupulous people have made it a bad word. It's a good word because Prabhupada started it in 1972. It's a good word. In fact, the system worked perfectly. The system he introduced by this Ritvik system worked perfectly all over the world. Every devotee stayed at the temples where they were initiated. There was no problems, no politics. And then a month before Prabhupada left, he mentions in a conversation, he said, "You keep this system. This is a perfect system." If you keep this system, everything will go on as it is going on now. But what did we do? We changed the system. That's another story. And that's why havoc came in the 80s. There was havoc, fire in the institution. Because we changed the system. And Prabhupada said, you keep the system because it was working perfectly. Oh, I've already read 4,000 letters. There were hundreds and hundreds of devotees being initiated all over the world. And Prabhupada, when he got the letters from the temple presidents, he would name the person who should do the ceremony and also do the second initiation by playing the tape. He said even a woman could do it, could do the fire sacrifice and play the tape. There was no bar. A woman could do it, not just a man. So there were woman Ritviks too. Yes.
Nowadays the Ritvik is going on. Is it bona fide or
It's
not
what?
bona fide? Some sampradayas in ISKCON they are doing Ritvik now.
I got no comment. I don't want to get in trouble. If you want to know, you come to my room. But publicly, I got no comment.
Is the current system the same?
Well, no. Now we have Prabhupada. He said in a conversation, in due course, all of you will become spiritual masters. And with time, in time and maturity. Well, that could take a lifetime. It could take 10 years, 20 years. You have to be qualified to become guru. Prabhupada told me, I almost was crying when in Calcutta, he came out of his bathroom. He had just taken his bath, his massage, and he was getting down to sit down on his mat. And he smiled to me and he said, well, I think I've achieved full control of my senses. And I looked at him and he said, yes, I have no appetite to eat and I cannot sleep. So I think I've controlled all my senses. And I just bowed down. I didn't want to hear such a thing. Because I knew Prabhupada's a Shaktavish avatar. He was so humble to say such a thing. I just was speechless. I only wish that I had the audacity to just praise Prabhupada right there and then. That you are my Lord forever. You are always in control of everything. But I was just young and speechless. I just bowed down and offered my obeisances. So, one must be qualified. He must conquer over the tongue. He must conquer over the sex life. Even Prabhupada said sleeping is bad. A spiritual master doesn't sleep, he said. I have the quote. So, if Prabhupada was sleeping, why would he's being a hypocrite? No, he wasn't sleeping. He was in meditation. And many devotees gave many examples. Guru Kripa gave one just during Kartik. He said he was in Hawaii talking to Prabhupada and he thought Prabhupada dozed off. He closes his eyes. So he tippy-toed out and he was opening the door and Prabhupada said, where are you going? That means a guru or spiritual master is never unconscious. He has to be conscious. Prabhupada said the qualification of a guru is to be conscious of Krishna 24 hours a day. 24 hours. Not 22, not 20, 24, he said. That means when you're so-called sleeping, you're thinking of Krishna's pastimes. I know when I sleep, I'm unconscious. I can't remember anything. Something, you have bad dreams and good dreams. Sometimes I dream of Prabhupada, once in a while, but I can't say 24 hours a day. So these are the qualifications. I have the qualifications. Prabhupada left 40 different qualifications of a spiritual master, which will help new devotees pick a spiritual master by having these qualifications. You see. So there's no problem in having spiritual masters. The problem is the qualification. Whether one is qualified to meet these different qualifications that Prabhupada gives. That is the point. And that's up to the individual. You have to use your intelligence. You see. Even Shyam Shunda, he was a secretary for how many years? He says right on video, he said he never actually saw Prabhupada sleep. He was always, if his eyes were closed, he was in meditation. He was in samadhi. Something we don't even understand, because we've never experienced that. So if the secretary who lives with Prabhupada says that, oh, what to speak of others? You see? So that's all I can say on that subject.